Gospel according to St. John.
There were some Greek-speaking people among those who had traveled to Jerusalem to worship in the temple during the annual Passover festival. Some of them were interested in knowing more about Jesus. They went up to Philip and said,
"Sir, we would like to have an opportunity to speak with Jesus of Nazareth."
Philip spoke to Andrew about this, and together they went to Jesus and asked if he could speak to them.
"Master, there are several people from the Greek community, and they would like to speak to you."
Yes, they asked if we could bring you. The time has come for the Son of God to receive glory. I will tell you the truth. I must fall and die like a grain of wheat, but my death will produce a plentiful harvest. If you love your life, you will lose it. If you give it up here on earth, you will gain everlasting life. If you serve me, the Father will honor you. Now, I am deeply troubled. Shall I pray? Father, do not let this hour come upon me. I came that I might go through this suffering. Father, bring glory to your name.
Suddenly, from out of the heavens came a voice.
I have already brought glory to myself, and I will do it again.
When the crowd, standing there, heard the voice, some of them said,
What was that? It sounded like thunder.
I think it was an angel that spoke.
Knowing their thoughts, Jesus spoke to them and said,
The voice you just heard was to help you, not me. The time of judgment has come for the world, and the time when Satan will be destroyed. When I am lifted up on a cross, it is then that I will draw everyone towards me.
Jesus said this in order to show the kind of death he was going to suffer. After this, Jesus went away, and despite all the miracles he had performed, many people still did not believe that he was the promised Messiah.
It's a great joy to be with you today to celebrate this Mass in the midst of our Lenten journey. I'd like to thank our youth for the beautiful expression of the Gospel today. I think it brought us all into the heart of our Lenten journey and our preparation for Holy Week, when we celebrate the Paschal mystery of our Lord Jesus' life, suffering, death, and resurrection. You know, when I was a young boy, I remember I was out in the alley playing with my younger brother. We had one of these pogo sticks. We were sort of jumping up and down on a pogo stick. And up the street came one of our friends. His name was Carl. And Carl said, have you heard? He said, Larry was one of our good friends in the neighborhood. He said, Larry was taken to the hospital. He was down by the creek and got stung by some bees. So immediately we jumped off our pogo sticks and we wanted to go see where Larry had been stung. So we made this trek across the field, across different alleys. So we lived in the city, but there was a creek that was pretty close nearby. And we went down to the spot where they said that he had been stung, and we stood there probably for about maybe 5 minutes. Well, next thing you know, we were surrounded by a swarm of bees. And these bees chased us clear across the alleys and the field and into my parents' house. The bees were in our pockets, under our shirts. I think I must have been stung, though I don't think these were mud wasps. They came up out of the soil there near the creek, and I don't think they actually stung. I think they actually took chunks out of us. They were quite painful. And these bees, finally my father got them sort of out of the house, and he said, well, I hope you all learned your lesson. And we had he made a paste of, sort of a salve for all of our different bee stings. I think I had about 30 bee stings all over my body. But it taught me a lesson. When we went to go see where our friend had been stung, we weren't expecting to actually get stung ourselves. We weren't actually ready to enter into, I think, the reality of what he had, but all of us did. And today, we have a number of Greek-speaking people who come, Gentiles who come to the apostles. They come to Jesus' friends, and they say, we want to see Jesus. We want to see Jesus. But what do they really mean when they say we want to see Jesus? What were they thinking? Did they actually want to truly see who Jesus was? Or were they only seeing Jesus in the way that they wanted to, in an external way? Certainly they had heard about his teaching and his preaching. They had maybe even witnessed some of his miracles. Maybe they saw him when he fed the thousands with the bread and the fishes. Maybe they saw when he raised Lazarus from the dead. Maybe they saw when he made the blind man see, or raised the little girl. And they wanted to see this person who had done these things. But did they truly understand what they were seeing when they came into the presence of Jesus? To truly see who Jesus is. That's our challenge in this Lenten journey, is to see Jesus and truly who he is. Truly who he is as the Son of God and the one who brings us salvation and redemption. He used this opportunity to really teach us two things. The first, again, is that all of his miracles that he performed, the works that he performed, those were just temporary. The people that he healed, the people that he fed, they would only be healed for a temporary amount of time. But ultimately they would die, or they would get hungry again. But he was trying to show through his works and these miracles that there was a deeper reality taking place. And he was challenging his disciples, he was challenging his people to look deeper into that reality of who Jesus was. And just like my brother and my friend, we were only sort of seeing externally. We had heard that our friend had been stung, but we didn't think we were going to enter into the reality of being stung ourselves and experiencing that pain. But Jesus is showing us that these miracles, these works, his teachings, they all find their meaning in ultimately in what he will do. And that is his suffering and his death on the cross. It is only through in a sense, the lens of the cross that we come to understand why Jesus came to us and what he is all about.